Hey guys, this is Greg with Medical Muscle. In this video, I want to talk about the worst things about medical school and the best things. All right, so let's get started. The worst things about medical school is the stress. Now I know a lot of graduate level education, going into like law or anything like that can be extremely stressful. I understand that. But there's some things about medicine that are unique. I think one of the worst factors is that there is a constant comparison between how students are doing. Okay, that's feeling inadequate. Okay, that's a reasonable thing, and it happens a lot in medicine. But what makes it worse is that you are technically in competition with some of your fellow classmates for residency spots. There's a limited amount, and you're in competition with your classmates. You're in competition with a bunch of US students. So the threat is real. You do have to do well because you're technically in competition with a lot of other people who also want this opportunity. Okay, so how well you do on standardized tests makes a huge difference. Okay, once they get to know you in the interview, your personality and other factors can shine, but your test scores are very important. And that can be very, very, very tough. Huge burden. People can really, really struggle. And I think the stress can hinder your performance in some ways. Okay, number two is that it puts an incredible strain on your relationships. I have no other way to tell you. I have some serious experience in this category, okay? Your romantic relationships will take a serious hit, okay? I would say most of the relationships that I've seen with people, I would say 50% failed. 50% long-term relationships didn't work. That's just my observation, but not all of them failed. Obviously, some people did really well, but it puts a strain on that, okay? It's gonna always put a strain. It's going to put a strain with your friends, right? Because you're going to be so busy. And also, if you're on the island, if you're not able to do it online, just that distance alone creates all these problems, okay? You get limited time with other people. And on the times in your school schedule when you have time off and you could go visit people or you could go do things with a loved one, well, should you be studying? That's a serious issue, and you need to consider that. And I think one interesting one is that you're going to have fewer hours to go out and have fun, especially during clinicals. That's not the year where you're going to be able to go and explore some brand new hobbies, right? Maybe you can explore some, but you're going to be limited in time, and you have to be very time conscious, okay? Now, all those sounded bad, but I have the benefits for you guys. Okay, so years 1, 2, and 4, clinical year 3 is tough, but 1, 2, and 4, I felt like I had a ton of free time, okay? Especially now in term 4, or year 4, I have so much free time. But term 1, when I look back retrospectively, I felt like I had a lot of time, okay? Compared to my schedule when I was an undergrad and I was working full-time, I had way less free time than I did in medical school, okay? Just the reality. So if you worked during school, then you would be technically doing more hours during an undergrad than you would in medical school. Not saying that the content, add in the content, there's still challenges. But the amount of hours that you actually have to, be required to do something, I think is fewer. All right. The science is amazing. It's exactly the whole reason you get into medical school is because you like this kind of stuff. And it's interesting, okay? I find it incredibly interesting. All my friends found it incredibly interesting. If you don't, then this is really not for you. But if you do, then it's gonna make it so easy, okay? I know the topics are challenging, but they're still pretty freaking interesting. I like quoting things from lectures because there was something in there, I'm like, interesting, something about the human that I found interesting. Okay. You will make some serious lifetime friends in medical school, right? I could say that for certain that I've made some amazing friends. I've made some amazing connections since doing this, and I've just had the best experience. I've gotten to do things that I've never been able to do. I've been able to live in places that I never thought I would be able to live in. You get the opportunity, like St. George University. You get the opportunity to live in a foreign country, a foreign tropical island. Not many people get that. It's a great chance to just go explore, okay? Before, you know, you settle down and you start residency, be attending somewhere. You know, it's good to have that little period when you're on the beach and you get to enjoy that freedom, okay? Especially on the island. The first 2 years, you have a lot of free time. You can do it, all right? If you work hard, okay? If you work hard, okay? I feel honestly like, especially after clinicals, after the third year, I'm in fourth year, I don't feel like I'm under that same kind of pressure, but under third year, I felt like I grew as a person. And after taking step 2, I grew as a person. I got to see what I got to see what my limits were. I don't want to see that again for a while until residency, but I'd never known what I was capable of. It was kind of a surreal experience, almost kind of spiritual. It's very strange. You get to see what you're physically and emotionally and mentally capable of. It's incredibly challenging. It can be overwhelming for some people, but it's an interesting thing when your brain it knows the most range of medical knowledge it'll ever know, you know? It's pretty incredible. You know, it's almost superhuman. It's a strange feeling. And, you know, I think the best part, now that I'm in this stage and I'm doing interviews and thinking about residency, is that I'm confident that this is exactly what I want to do. And that's a real pro. You know, I feel like all throughout my, you know, younger years, doing different careers, doing different jobs, maybe not knowing exactly what I want to do, it was a little unsettling. I feel like my whole life is set, and now, you know, I know that I have this journey ahead of me and I'm excited for it. I look forward to it. So that's a huge positive. All right, guys, I hope that was informative for you. I wish you guys the best of luck and keep kicking butt. That was a good one.